Hey everyone, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and today we're going to be reviewing the new EP Nina Cried Power by the Irish singer-songwriter of the blues and rock variety, Hozier. It's been about 4 years since he gave us his self-titled debut album, so needless to say, I myself and many other fans were eagerly awaiting new material, and it's finally here. 4 years later, in the wake of the debut self-titled album really starting to take over the world, we saw Hozier remaining a little bit more low-key as he went off the map a little bit, not entirely. He had a few one-off performances and other things, but it was clear that he was focusing on his writing and also his political campaigns that he was involved with and just other human rights campaigns. It's something that I do admire about Hozier, and you could see that that's definitely in his blood. He showed it from the very start with his music. Nina Cried Power is an exciting little EP that's been crafted over the past couple of years. There's a lot of attention to detail because, of course, it's Hozier, and he's very descriptive with the way that he produces things and obviously meticulous about the way that he writes things, and that attention to detail definitely comes out in a very good way on this new little EP. It's 4 songs, and obviously on the title track, we have the legend Mavis Staples herself featuring, and they are singing and talking about so many of the people in the 20th century that cried power, essentially saying that they had something to do with a movement that inspired people, and that continues to inspire people to maybe rebel, talk about things, and just rise up in the current day. If you got to know Hozier on the debut self-titled album, I honestly don't see how you could be disappointed in the new material. This is once again a very poignant, a very of the times, but also on the nose descriptiveness that we've come to love and know about Hozier. The way that he digs into these tracks, whether it be Shrike, where he talks about a relationship that essentially fell into the gutter, and just how bitter, cold, and just sad the track feels. There's also a hopefulness somehow in the vocals and just the style of the guitar playing that's on the track, that despite him describing himself as being like the prey that is put on the thorn by the shrike, a bird that is known to just basically impale its prey, he's still almost just happy to be there, happy to be in the relationship and to have lived that moment. The title track, Nina Cried Power, has an immense, towering combination of, yes, vocals of course, because it's Hozier and Mavis Staples teaming up, but also a wonderful swell of piano, bass, vibrato, the guitar, all of the instruments coming together, even the drums on this track continuing to be compelling, driving it forward at all times. Just a monumental effort and totally one of the best songs of the year. An acronym rolls out in the form of NFWMB. This is something that stands for Nothing Fucks With My Baby, and it has a deep rumbling bass that really comes out as conjured during the chorus, and it strikes me as something kind of bold because he's repeating a phrase, nothing fucks with my baby, basically saying, aren't you with me? Well, if you're with me, then nothing is going to come and hurt you. It's just a very confident tune, and I love the way that it's laid back and the way that it's presented and styled musically, but there's also, like I said, just somebody just making these big strides, saying, I know that things are okay, I know I've got us, so why worry? I think the first 2 tracks on the EP, Nina Cried Power and NFWMB, are my 2 personal favorites, the ones that truly stand out on this EP, but the second cuts are not to be overlooked either. It's something where, especially the final closing moment, Shrike, I find to be a little bit relatable just because of something I went through in the past. I'm right there with Hozier, and I can see what he's doing, but he just takes it to that next level by just being so descriptive. I feel like I'm like out in nature watching him write this song and play it in real time. It's just one of those things that cuts through the wall, where the listener and the artist, you know, we're supposed to be on opposite sides of the fence. I just feel like I'm right there in the room with him, watching him play this, write it, and sing it, and that's a great feeling to have. That leaves only one more song to talk about, and unfortunately, it's the song that I'm not really feeling as much as the others. It's called Moments, Silence, Common Tongue in parentheses. It's a track that is much more sexual in nature, and of course there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that Hozier on this tune seems a little bit less engaged and focused, and there's some more repetition on this track that I don't feel serves as well as maybe NFWMB, for example. example, right before it. I think that that one made better use of building on the repetition towards actually getting to an end goal. This track, however, it just seems to flutter out a little bit and doesn't exactly keep the lights on for me. Hey, this was actually a really solid EP that I hope you guys check out. I actually thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'm sorry it took me a little bit to get to a review of it. I had numerous requests to talk about this one. I finally pulled you guys on Twitter. It almost unanimously won there. So I'm excited that you guys are excited. I am too. I'm looking forward to more music from Hozier. For this little EP, Nina Cried Power, I'm going to have to give this a strong 4 out of 5. With, like I said, Nina Cried Power, the title track with Mavis Staples, being one of my favorite songs. I definitely see this landing in my top 50 at the end of the year. Time will tell. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Stream the EP if you haven't already. There's a link in the description along with my favorites, least favorites, and everything like that. Don't forget to drop a like on this video and of course subscribe to the channel if you're new in town. If you would like to support me on Patreon, then tap the top link down below or else this annotation in the corner of the screen. If you want to see my review of the debut self-titled by Hozier, then tap this little card right here or tap here for another recent review. Socials in the description and I'll see you soon for more right here on ARTV.